Testimony of what we've seen, what we've been through, and what we've experienced. This young couple here was working with another real estate company. They was buying a new home and selling theirs at the same time. They ended up closing on the home they was living in. The home that they was purchasing didn't go through. For whatever reason, the lenders dropped the ball, didn't handle it effectively. So it forced this young couple to have to move in with their in-laws, and their son had to sleep on the sofa. It was a very uncomfortable situation. So they were trying to go through a new builder who couldn't seem to get the ball done. So they were working with the new builder, working with another realtor who still couldn't seem to accomplish it. So me and LaRon go way back. I used to cut his hair a long time ago. And he drove by the Farmers Insurance one day. He was in Hart's Chicken drive-thru and he seen me, so he beckoned for me. When I walked up to the window, he told me that he was in the process of buying a home. I asked him, was he working with a realtor? He said, yes. I said, no problem. Here's a card for my inspector. I want you to call him to make sure your best interest is covered. So they never connected. I reached out to LaRon 2-3 weeks later. He told me they were still struggling. They were trying to get it done. Still wasn't able to get it done. So one night I was sitting in the builder's office and LaRon walked in while I was sitting in there talking to the builder. He heard my voice from a distance. I heard his voice from a distance. I went in and introduced myself to him and his wife and just told him to give me a call. They had been trying to get closed with the second builder. The first builder they tied about $4,500 up with, couldn't get their money back. The second builder they had about $500 tied up with, and they still couldn't get the ball done. So I reached out to Monsi Hawkins from Figs Restoration. Monsi instantly gave him some pointers on what to do and what not to do. From Monsi, I took him to a young lady by the name of Angela that was able to get him a DU underwriting in about 4 days. So I came back to the builder. I asked the builder to terminate the contract that they had, so in return, they could put me on the contract so I can help them get the deal done, because what they couldn't get done in 4 weeks, we were able to pull it off in about 4 days. The builder was very upset. She didn't want to bust the contract out. Long story short, I wouldn't release the pre-approval. So they agreed to use me as their realtor because I was able to help them get a few things done. I made a few phone calls. We went out and looked at 2 homes. When we walked into the second home, the wife said, this is my home. I said, okay, this your home? I said, this the one you want? I told the builder. We began to hit the tables. We began to make the numbers work, and we actually closed today. So they have been through a lot. This young lady's been battling with cancer. God is healing her body on a consistent basis. It's been a very stressful situation. They sold their home from not dealing with some realtors that had their best interests at hand. They took the money and ran. So I'm just going to let them give you a brief testimony on how God has blessed them. But I just gave you a quick rundown of everything they've been through. But they're standing here happy, proud, even down to today. We didn't think the deal would get done. I told them be patient, trust God, and let him do his part, and that he has done. So how y'all feel?
Feels really good.
Real good?
Yes, been going through this since June.
Since June?
Since June, yes.
And they
ran into Mike.
Just that simple?
Just that simple.
So the B-Spot team came out?
What, 4 weeks?
Yeah, we did it in 4 weeks.
Yeah, closed today, 4 weeks, got us closed.
And they've been working on this since June.
Since June.
We're the 3rd real estate company that they dealt with. The first 2 couldn't get it done. When she walked up to the house, she said, this is my house. I called out the inspectors. They came out. We found every flaw that we could to the naked eye to make sure this home was perfect as possible for them. We bent over backwards to make sure they were able to call themselves home, have a home, and go into the new year and Christmas with a place to call home. She's having surgery next week. We're asking everybody to keep her in your prayers, that God will continue to bless, heal, and deliver. So, y'all have any final words? Amen. Amen.
I'm so tired.
But God has done his part. Just this morning alone, we were thinking, they were saying, we don't know what's going to happen. The title company was saying, if we don't have docs by 11 o'clock, it ain't going to close. We got on the phone with the title company. I asked them to have a little patience, have a little mercy. About 11:35, 11:38, the lender got over the paperwork to title. They got to the title company for 2. They closed. Where them keys at? Where them keys at? Oh, he did already put them on his key ring. They ain't in the bag no more.
Everybody out there, if you're looking for a realtor, call Mike. He's the best of the best. I will vouch for that.
So that's Mr. Haywood and Mrs. Haywood. You heard it from them themselves.
Yes, I co-sign on it.
Amen.